To understand America's news now.
Weekday mornings at 6 and 8 on Fox, Illinois. Opioids, alcohol, gambling. Across America, across Illinois. Fox, Illinois is committed to getting answers to help fight this crisis. Addicted Illinois. Watch for exclusive special reports. Wednesday on Fox, Illinois. Addicted Illinois is sponsored by Gateway Foundation, Addiction Medicine, saving lives. You're watching Fox, Illinois. News at 9.
Gator parents reacting after a video showing 4 students beating one student until he passes out. Why one mom says the school district failed her child. Plus,
things have dried down where it's easy to harvest right now, and so we're very happy with the way the year's turned out.
Harvesting is underway for area farmers. Why the recent heat and dryness has some farmers keeping an eye on their fields.
and a rise in crisis calls, many being suicidal. How one local police department says you can help.
Live from our studios, you're watching Fox Illinois News at 9.
Good evening, I'm Brianna Collins.
And I am Doug Quick. First tonight, farmers are starting to harvest their crops after what they say was a great growing season. But weather is playing a factor after a lot of dry days over the last few weeks.
Fox Illinois' Evan Hensley is working for you tonight. He tells us the impact the weather may have on the harvest. Evan?
And grain elevators like these ones here behind me have been continued to be busy throughout the day as harvesting season is well underway here in Champaign County. And farmers say that a lot of this dry weather we've seen here over the last few weeks does help them when they're out there gathering their crops, but it could also cause some potential hazards.
Conditions out in the cornfields especially are very dry. We do have concerns about possible field fires.
With the turn into fall, harvesting has begun in rural Champaign County. This year, farmers are dealing with a challenge as weather has remained hot and dry. That has made it easier for those working out in the fields.
But overall, guys have had some good days and good stretches of here when they could be out in the field getting harvest done.
Mother Nature kind of cooked things at the end, and corn matured very fast, and the beans have matured very fast. The moisture in the seed is at great harvesting moistures now.
But the dryness does not come without risk. Farmer Craig Anderson says that dryness over the last few weeks makes the fields more susceptible to catching fire. That makes safety a primary concern for those out harvesting.
That might cause a spark or something that gets hot on the equipment with as much dust and chaff as around. If you don't keep an eye on things, that can start a fire.
To be safe, farmers make sure their equipment is functioning properly and the dust from the fields is cleaned off. The county's Farm Bureau says the lack of heavy rain has them set up for an above-average year.
Fortunately for us, we didn't have that too many times. Things look pretty good out there. I think bean yields are going to be good, and I think corn's going to be good yields as well.
And farmers say that while the dryness doesn't overall help them while they're out there on the fields, that a little bit of rain here or there here sometime soon could potentially help them to not just help cool them down while they're out there, but also a little rain won't hurt their harvesting. Reporting live in Champaign County, I'm Evan Hensley, back to you.
Well, in the coming days, they might get a little bit of rain. We'll take a look at that weekend forecast for you coming up. But going over to the capital city at the present time in the Rose Heating and Air Conditioning Traveling Tower Cam, pretty pleasant evening out there. Not much of a breeze, though, but we are seeing clear skies over much of the region, and that'll take us into some sunshine tomorrow and a bit of a cool down. Once we get into the weekend, we're going to see temperatures start to drop in the coming days. And then, as I mentioned, a chance of showers and maybe even some thunderstorms coming in in over the weekend. And the live Doppler across mid-Illinois looking pretty quiet. Right now it's 72 in Champaign, 70 in Springfield, 77 in St. Louis, 67 up in the Quad Cities, and 72 in Indianapolis. And as I mentioned, not much of a breeze out there, looking at nearly calm conditions over the area. And that could trigger the development of some patchy fog during the overnight, so be aware of that tomorrow morning. As you drive to work or to school, don't forget, keep the headlights and taillights on so others can see you. We'll check out the rest of that forecast for you in detail coming up. Brianna, back over to you.
Doug, I saw something today that said in the morning I open my windows and then I close them before I go to work, then I'll turn on my air and then repeat. And I'm like, I can relate. It's that time of year.
Yeah, it really is. And you don't know what to wear. It's a little cool, chilly during the overnight with those dew points dropping. And then during the day, it gets a little warm and sticky. So you just got to play it by ear.
Exactly. Roll with the punches this time of year.
That's it.
Thank you, Doug. An update tonight on the ongoing investigation into what happened to ISU student Jelani Day. Last week, the Peru Police Department posted a video on its Facebook page of a person of interest. The task force now in charge of this case reports that that person has been identified. He is no longer a person of interest or a suspect. He was reportedly in the area for his job. Jelani Day was considered missing for 30 days until remains found were positively identified as Jelani. New tonight, Decatur School District parents and students say bullying and violence is plaguing their school system, especially in the two area high schools.
Fox Illinois' Matt Roy spoke with one parent who says she's pulled her son out of the district entirely after he was in a fight last week.
My son was recently a victim of violence at MacArthur High School.
At Tuesday night's Decatur Public Schools Board of Education meeting, Veronica Smiley said her son was attacked in the classroom during school hours. Now, she says,
I don't feel that they're taking it as seriously as they need to. I've actually removed my son from the school because of it.
Another parent claimed a child followed her son home and pulled a gun on him. The student ambassador for Eisenhower High School says there are fights in school every single class period.
Every day our kids are going to school. Some of them are in fear to go to school because they don't know what's going to happen.
Some of these issues go back decades. You know, I'm not very far removed from Decatur Public Schools myself. So these are some similar issues that we had.
Now, board member Alana Banks says the district should have seen this coming. Superintendent Bonnie Williams says staffing is a huge issue.
We're short all over the place, and we're constantly worrying about having enough adults to supervise our kids.
If you're that short on staff to where you can't ensure the safety of our children, why'd you open the school?
This has been a problem for a long time. So why should anybody believe that it's going to change now?
It's just like I said, there are certain things, there are certain solutions that need to be put in place that we have not had the right people in the position to make these changes that are needed.
Interim Superintendent Bonnie Williams says there is a meeting next week to talk about possible solutions to this problem. She mentioned wanding students, metal detectors, and ID badges as possible fixes.
An Illinois man is now dead after refusing treatment after he was bitten by a bat. Health officials say cases of human rabies are quite rare, with only 1 to 3 cases being reported each year in the U.S. They say people shouldn't be too worried about getting the virus.
In Illinois, we don't have a lot of rabies. Basically, most of our rabies are in bats. They should be concerned if they're bitten by a wild animal, and they should seek care.
Hebner says people can get the infection usually through a bite from other animals. Those exposed to rabies should immediately seek medical attention. Full treatment involves 5 injections, which IDPH says is close to 100% effective.
Community organization 4U Rantoul is reporting more than a handful of suicide reports over the last weekend.
Fox Illinois' Chase Howell is working for you to tell you how picking up your phone can be life-saving.
130 people die every day from suicide. That number comes from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And now 4U Rantoul says reporting someone is suicidal is very helpful, but it's a 2-part process. For You Rantoul took to Facebook saying, quote, "I came back from a long weekend today and had a handful of crisis reports for me. Many were suicidal in nature," end quote. But why the rise?
I think we're seeing a general trend that the crisis-style calls, especially suicide calls, are increasing. And personally, I think it's kind of coming off of the COVID issue.
Sergeant Christina Reefstack with the Rantoul Police Department says though isolation is good for our physical health, it isn't great for our mental health. Reefstack also says reporting someone is suicidal is just the first step in the process. She says answering the phone when police call is just as important than the report because they need your firsthand information.
I want to be able to see that text message. I want to be able to hear what you heard.
Reefstack says this helps officers navigate the situation and will be useful when dealing with medical personnel. As for utilizing crisis counselors, she says they do what they can, but sometimes it's just the officer headed to the scene.
You know, maybe on your midnight shift or awkward timing of day where it's just going to be the officer that's the one showing up.
Reefstack says the majority of officers are trained in crisis intervention, but when it comes to suicide, the whole police department is trained and use an assessment tool. Reporting in studio, I'm Chase Howell.
Thank you, Chase. It's been a movie theater and a bank, but now it's being demolished. The building sitting empty on Springfield and Mattis has started to be torn down. The City of Champaign's Planning and Development Department told us a private business was issued a demolition permit. As far as what could take over the spot, the department says that's all up in the air. And right now, there has not been a request for a business permit quite yet.
Visit Champaign County is launching a new campaign called Your Places, Your Spaces, Our Community. They're encouraging residents to share pictures and videos of their favorite experiences in the area. Up to 8 submissions will be selected to be featured in future marketing material, free swag, and a professional photo shoot at their favorite location. You can also get your Fox Illinois news delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up now for the newsletter. That's at foxillinois.com.
Coming up on Fox Illinois News at 9, helping people experiencing an overdose. How a new bill is aimed to help someone in crisis.
Plus, it's a breathtaking sight as lava from a volcano on the Canary Islands reached the ocean. Why experts are concerned with the environmental impact.
Experts are warning consumers, start your holiday shopping early. How retailers are preparing for a possible surge. In our question of the day, single women are more than twice as likely to buy one of these as single men are. What do you think it is? Take a guess on the Fox Illinois Facebook page.
You're watching Fox Illinois Live with Brianna Collins, Doug Quick, and Sports with Nico Hefflinger.
An unspeakable crime.
He keeps saying that he murdered 4 people.
The chilling call he made before the grisly attacks.
It was pure on hatred.
Plus, escapes you've only dreamed about.
I'm loving this right now.
Inside new interactive attractions. Daily Mail TV.
Tonight at 10 on Fox Illinois.
Come lace up your ice skates at the Decatur Civic Center. Our ice is open to the public. Join us Friday, October 1st, as we kick off our public ice skating season. For more information on open ice times, visit DecaturCivicCenter.org.
I've always believed the best offense is a good defense.
Nice Holly McKay!
That's why I love Helus Naturals for my wellness. I find their 100% natural CBD products are safe and effective in actively defending my body. I've defended wellness my whole life, but now it's more important than ever. Helus Naturals CBD products are now available at your favorite drugstore and helusnaturals.com. Defend your body, defend wellness.
Don't worry, it only looks haunted.
Every time you run into some serial killer's house or into a fire or off a cliff, you take everyone who loves you with you.
We have 12 hours to stop the next murder.
You got nothing to be afraid of.
Nancy Drew. New episodes premiere Friday, October 8th, only on the CW.
Looking for high quality and low prices? Then Furniture Row's 4-day super sale is for you. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. You'll also find huge savings on living, dining, bedroom, and much, much more. Plus, make your cash go further with 6 years no-interest financing and free shipping right to your doorstep. But hurry, the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
The National Desk covers America's news now, holds government leaders accountable.
Recalled U.S. government vehicles.
Whoever knows about the problem has the responsibility to fix it.
Weekday mornings on Fox, Illinois.
I brought both of these.
The new season of The Great North is
gold. It's just one giant gold sandwich with slices of gold smothered in gold sauce.
Sunday at 7:30.
Thank you for turning to Fox, Illinois. The news continues now.
Spain braces for a serious environmental threat as lava from a volcano pours into the sea. Look at that. The molten lava from the Canary Islands volcano spilled into the Atlantic Ocean last night. This after 10 days of wiping out hundreds of homes. As it moved across the island, experts had warned the columns of smoke and lava could contain toxic gases.
Might be hard to imagine, but there are less than 3 months until Christmas. Some experts recommend you start your Christmas shopping earlier than normal this year. That's because retailers are anticipating shipping delays and shortages, especially for toys. And tonight's Fox Focus, how some retailers are already preparing for the rush.
If you see something you like, go ahead and buy it. Because I'm trying to reorder, but I always cannot get it in.
George Jones owns Snoozy's Kids. He says this applies not only to items in his store, but other toy stores across the country. And it's all thanks to, you guessed it, supply chain issues. He's just now getting some items he ordered in June.
We ordered before the huge July market in Atlanta, hoping to get our order in above and beyond other folks. Well, you see, now it is mid-September or beyond, and we're just now receiving it. So there's not much turnaround time for us to do this again for the holiday. So this pretty much will be my holiday order.
From Legos and toddler toys to baby dolls and stuffed animals, just about every toy has a delay.
Some of our stuffed animals that we absolutely love and adore, carry them year in, year out for years, and people used to buying one for one sibling and one for the second child or third child, the same type of item. We're having some issues getting it.
He's told there's a foam shortage, delaying stuffed animals and dolls, and most of the other issues are shipping delays. To prevent that, he recommends shopping local to help you and your small businesses.
Yes, you can see it online, but if you put, you're going to give them your money and you give them your credit card, when are you going to receive that merchandise? It may be too late. You can come into a shop, you can pick it up, we'll wrap it, you're on your way, and it's done.
By shopping local, you could also cut your shipping costs. Jones says some companies have quadrupled their shipping costs.
Now your Storm Team weather with Doug Quick.
Snoozies, I like that name. Hey, we're going to Uptown Normal, looking out over the Bloomington Normal area, and we are seeing clear skies there. And the Rose Heating and Air Conditioning Traveling Tower Cam, very pleasant evening, and looking at the dorms there at Illinois State University, all lit up. Students are certainly there. And let's take a look at that weekend. Unfortunately, it could be a bit wet. We're looking at rain being likely with a chance of some thunderstorms. 76, that will be the high on Saturday. And then on Sunday, maybe a degree cooler. Once again, clouds, breezy conditions with rain being likely and a chance of storms. Our highs today, pretty impressive, certainly well above what's average for this time of year. 89 was the high in Champaign, 87 in Springfield, 89 in Peoria, 88 in St. Louis. Carbondale, Evansville, just a warm day all the way around. And over the next 5 days, though, we're going to get some cooling. In fact, going to be some major cooling. We're going to be down actually below average by the time we get into next Monday. 72 degrees, the expected temperature there, and average highs being around 74. So we're starting out again well above average. Right now we're in the 70s across mid-Illinois, including 73 in Peoria. A little cooler up in the Quad Cities, 67, 70 in Springfield, 72 in Champaign and Indy, and 77 right now in St. Louis. And winds are calm as we look out across the area, and certainly not seeing any precipitation, at least not for now anyway. But as I mentioned, that'll change once we get into the weekend. And there's that weather system that's going to be changing it. It's moving from the plains eastward into our region. It is a slow mover. And as we put this map into motion, you can see just how slow this is occurring, picking up a little bit of Gulf moisture. Once it gets into our area, it'll start to pick up a little more moisture, but it's going to take some time for that cold front. It doesn't look like it's too far away, right around the Kirksville, Ottumwa, and up into maybe around Eau Claire, Wisconsin, maybe right there. And then that will be shifting eastward. And as it does, it'll start to pick up a little more moisture from the south. And here's that next weather maker here as we look into the weekend. And by Saturday afternoon, we're going to be looking at some widespread showers and possibly some thunderstorms. Here's the forecast tonight: 62 degrees, partly cloudy, maybe some patchy fog out there for the day tomorrow. 85 degrees, becoming mostly sunny, and a nice, mild, warm day. And then over the next 7 days, here's what we're anticipating, including a little look into that weekend there. There it is, showers and some thunderstorms for Saturday and Sunday.
Well, looks like those farmers will get that rain that they were looking for, and we'll get a nice day indoors.
A little bit of rain to knock the dust down a little bit so they can get back out in the fields, and not enough to really hinder that. That's what we're looking at.
And I think that'll be really helpful, too, for folks like myself who suffer from allergies, and it's been a little rough lately.
Yeah, I feel your pain there, certainly.
Thanks, Doug.
I'm James Rosen reporting from Washington on the seemingly intractable gridlock that is dividing Democrats from fellow Democrats on items central to the Biden legacy.
How the eviction crisis has played out since the Supreme Court struck down the CDC's moratorium.
And in our question of the day, single women are more than twice as likely to buy one of these as single men are. What do you think it is? Take a guess on the Fox Illinois Facebook page. You're watching Fox Illinois News at 9.
When you run with Sloan's on a John Deere 1025R, you can feel the power. Get your John Deere 1025R for just $171 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board that acts like a mobile generator, and an available tailgate work surface is built to get the job done. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few, it's built for America. Ford F-150. Drive one today.
New inventory is arriving daily, and with 0% financing for 72 months, now's the best time to buy an F-150.
Fast Wi-Fi. It really does make everything better.
Switch, jump.
So at Xfinity, we're not stopping at fast.
Don't mind me, come on. Pick that up, right there, right there.
We're breaking the gig barrier with the fastest Wi-Fi you can get. Because we know your Wi-Fi is powering more devices than ever before. Get our special offer of $300 back when you get gig speed internet. Or get started with Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months. Switch today.
Elevate your curb appeal and protect your home with Menard's unbeatable selection of great roofing products. The roof is easily one of the most overlooked features of any home, even though it's one of the most important. Castlebrook shingles are built with beauty and durability in mind, adding value and protecting your home for years to come. Pick from 7 colors and save 11% on all Castlebrook shingles right now at Menard's.
Save big money at Menards.
Big Bang gets banged up.
Sheldon and Amy.
Or as we call them, Shamey.
Jamie.
The Big Bang Theory.
Tomorrow night at 6 on Fox Illinois.
When you run with Sloan's on a John Deere 1025R, you can feel the power. Get your John Deere 1025R for just $171 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
You're watching Fox Illinois. Thank you for turning to Fox Illinois. The news continues now.
Experts warned of a tsunami of evictions if the eviction moratorium was not extended. But so far, the crisis has not materialized. According to the Washington Post, the number of eviction filings has actually dropped or remained flat. The report cites data from a Princeton University project following such filings. It's been a month since the Supreme Court struck down the CDC's moratorium. Some have warned of a crisis if nothing was done.
You know, folks in the medical space, first thing they learn as a doctor is first do no harm. And so in the middle of a pandemic, this is not the time to push working families out of their homes and onto the streets.
Some believe the crisis might be delayed because court dates for such evictions don't all come at the same time. Lawmakers are searching for ways to grant administrative authority for future eviction protections.
Economists say if the U.S. defaults on its debt, the results will be catastrophic. Up to 6 million jobs could be lost. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh is hopeful lawmakers will strike a deal.
We still have time. And the debt ceiling, I mean, I think both sides have to agree, and we have to move that forward.
Walsh believes there is a path for an agreement. So far, Democrats and Republicans are not budging. Republicans say Democrats want to recklessly run up the country's credit card. Democrats liken their refusal to cooperate to a dine and dash, with the vast majority of debt incurred during the Trump administration.
A day of uncertainty for the White House stretches into the evening as progressive and moderate Democratic lawmakers play a high-stakes game of chicken over which mammoth spending package they will approve first and at what price tag.
The results of the intra-party standoff will have huge implications for the remainder of President Biden's term in office. Sinclair National correspondent James Rosen is following the action on Capitol Hill.
On a day when President Biden canceled a trip to Chicago to remain at the White House and help whip Democrats into voting for a series of hotly debated spending packages crucial to his legacy, some of them still only hazily defined, he and the Democratic leaders in the House and Senate worked feverishly to combat rearguard actions against the plan being mounted by leading progressives in each chamber.
The President has spoken over the last several days with a range of different voices, but he knows the most constructive role he can play in this moment is working to unify Democrats on a path forward.
At stake are two big spending bills, each central to the president's agenda. The first, already passed by the Senate, set for a House vote Thursday, is a $1.2 trillion infrastructure package, which enjoys bipartisan support, but which progressive Democratic lawmakers are threatening to torpedo, unless moderate Democrats provide guarantees on the second package, a $3.5 trillion social spending plan, uniformly opposed by Republicans and deemed too pricey by the two Democratic swing votes, Senators Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona.
One senator, Kyrsten Sinema, is holding up the will of the entire Democratic Party.
But Manchin is also digging in, telling reporters Wednesday the progressives will have to cast their vote on the infrastructure package on Thursday without the details on the social spending package they demand.
All we need to do is pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill, sit down and start negotiating in good faith. That's it.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told reporters Wednesday she believes Democrats will ultimately support the president, but couldn't guarantee it.
We take it one step at a time.
Rodell Molyneux is a former aide to Senator Harry Reid, the Democratic leader in the Bush and Obama years.
Here in Washington, it's all about, it's going to cost this much or that much, instead of talking about this is what it will do for your pocketbook. This is what it will do for your daily life.
Also of urgent concern, the federal government is set to run out of money on Thursday, raising the specter of a partial government shutdown beginning Friday. As well, the country's debt ceiling expires next month. Two more intertwined issues on which Republicans are vowing to make the fractious Democrats go it alone. On Capitol Hill, James Rosen.
A sweeping ban by YouTube of one type of content has critics crying foul and others saying it's about time. I'm Christine Frizzell with a look at what you'll no longer easily be able to find on the platform.
A new bill aimed at helping people experiencing an overdose. What you can do to help someone in crisis. And our question of the day, single women are more than twice as likely to buy one of these as single men are. What is it? Take a guess on the Fox Illinois Facebook page. You're watching Fox Illinois News at 9.
A.J. Gershon, Noel Ford, weekday mornings from 7 to 8 on Fox Illinois Sunrise.
Oh, this world's a little crazy. Oh, you are mine.
At Golden Harvest, our best skill is knowing how to listen. Because once we understand your operation and goals, we can offer the right products to perform in your fields. From our Gold Series soybean and game-changing corn portfolios to our expert insights housed in the Illuminate digital agronomy platform, everything we offer is an answer to what we've heard from you. This is how we listen.
Looking for high quality and low prices? Then Furniture Row's 4-day super sale is for you. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. You'll also find huge savings on living, dining, bedroom, and much, much more. Plus, make your cash go further with 6 years no-interest financing and free shipping right to your doorstep. But hurry, the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
Yeah, what do you think?
I am not into you.
Why don't you stop staring at my six-pack?
Brace yourselves.
This segment sponsored by Gateway Foundation, Addiction Medicine, Saving Lives.
With the rise in overdoses across the country, lawmakers here in Illinois are taking more action to combat the opioid epidemic.
Noelle Ford reports tonight in Addicted, Illinois.
A new bill just signed into law builds on Illinois' Good Samaritan laws, encouraging people to call 911 if they see somebody overdose. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Opioid Overdose Reduction Act into law last month.
Essentially, it gives some limited protection to people who call 911, call for emergency first responders to come in and help if you or a friend is or someone you're with is experiencing an overdose.
Bill sponsor Representative Janet Yang Rohr hopes this will encourage people to do the right thing instead of worrying about getting in trouble.
With this law, we just want to make sure that people do the right thing, that they help the people that they're with, that they can get medical attention, that they save lives in the end.
And the opioid crisis is also reaching us right here in Sangamon County. Coroner Jim Allman explains there's been an increase in accidental overdoses driven by fentanyl.
There's one common denominator lately in the last couple of years in this problem, it's fentanyl.
Allman also encourages everyone to call for help if they see an overdose, saying every single minute counts in these situations.
Narcan, naloxone is something that's readily available to a lot of different people. And there's no reason why anybody should hesitate for 1 second to call 911 if something like that were to happen.
Because you can save somebody's life.
I couldn't tell you how many times that our office has responded to a possible overdose at a residence where there is no drugs present. Everything seems to have been cleaned up. The person is there by themselves. Nobody called. And I think it's extremely important that if you're with somebody and something like that happens, that you call. You can save their life. You can. Narcan, naloxone does save lives.
So far in 2021, there have been 35 accidental overdoses in Sangamon County and 13 probable overdose cases that are pending toxicology reports. Reporting in studio, Noelle Ford, back to you.
The Opioid Overdose Reduction Act takes effect January 1st, 2022.
2 doses of an mRNA COVID vaccine have proven largely effective at preventing hospitalization and death. But that's not enough, according to the nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci. He says we should prevent COVID infections as well, not just severe outcomes.
It is an assumption that is okay to get infected and to get mild and moderate disease as long as you don't wind up in the hospital and die. And I have to be open and honest. I reject that. I think we should be preventing people from getting sick from COVID, even if they don't wind up in the hospital.
Fauci adds that the proper, complete vaccination regimen should include 3 doses, not 2. His comments come as concerns that vaccine efficacy is waning, which spurred the recent push for booster shots.
Vaccine maker Pfizer has submitted data from a trial of its COVID-19 vaccine in children ages 5 to 11 to the FDA. The company has previously said the trial showed positive results at protecting children from the virus. Kids were given a smaller dose of the vaccine in the trial than the adults received. Pfizer says they expect to request emergency use authorization from the FDA for kids ages 5 to 11 in the coming weeks.
It's just the latest chapter in the fight over vaccines in America. Tonight, YouTube has expanded its misinformation policies to include what it considers false content about all vaccines, not just those related to COVID-19. As
Sinclair National correspondent Christine Frizzell reports, the decision is being celebrated by some and called an assault on free speech by others.
Thank you guys for coming. The crusade against so-called big government is expanding to one against big tech. This after YouTube's decision to remove all content that claims approved vaccines are dangerous, cause chronic health effects like cancer, autism, or infertility, that they do not in fact reduce transmission or contraction of the disease, or that ingredients in the vaccine track those who receive it. It's an extension of a policy previously just for COVID-19 vaccines, which critics say sets a dangerous precedent.
If they're going to act on behalf of one political point of view, I don't see how that they can then say, you know, we're totally neutral and we deserve protection from lawsuits.
Former New York Times reporter and Yale-educated novelist Alex Berenson was permanently banned from Twitter for his controversial COVID-related posts.
I posted, frankly, stuff that was not just sort of backed by data, but I think clearly, if you look at the last 6 to 12 to even 18 months, was not just accurate, but was basically ahead of most of the media.
Some Capitol Hill lawmakers say the decision by YouTube, which is owned by Google and is similar to a ban implemented by Facebook several months ago, illustrates why laws regarding social media companies may need to change.
Having them be in a position to determine the veracity of information is very suspect.
Many others, though, applauding the decision, which they say allowed misinformation to spread and for those behind it to profit.
All of our technology companies have some responsibility for making sure that there's responsible information on their platforms.
Tech experts say, love it or hate it, YouTube does have the right.
The First Amendment bans the government from limiting what YouTube allows on their services. That's how the First Amendment works. It doesn't give you the right to say anything you want to on YouTube.
There was already a hearing scheduled for Thursday on Capitol Hill examining social media's impact on the mental health of young people. We do expect those testifying to get some tough questions about this new anti-vaccine policy as well. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
Over $350,000 is being used toward low-income women across Illinois. The funding comes from the Illinois Department of Labor, who's partnering with the Women Employed organization. Community groups will use this to assist low-income women with services and legal help they need. The mission of Women Employed is to improve the economic status of women and remove barriers to economic equity.
Prices are rising in the pork industry, and you may be paying more at your local Dollar Tree. Here's Stacey Skryzik with tonight's Consumer Watch.
You're going to have to work a bit harder to bring home the bacon. The price of the popular pork product is higher than it's been in the past 40 years. America's pork supply chain was one of the first to get slammed by coronavirus shutdowns. The Biden administration is blaming the cost hikes on monopolies within the meat industry. While market analysts warn don't expect pork prices to go down anytime soon. You are about to pay more at Dollar Tree. The discount chain says higher costs are forcing it to sell more items for more than $1. Some items will cost just over $1, others $1.25 or $1.50. The store has been experimenting with charging $3 to $5 for some items. The company says it's responding to higher costs for wages, freight, and suppliers.
And trending tonight, the first all-black group to climb Mount Everest will make that trek next year. 9 climbers from America plan on becoming the first all-black team to make it to the top of the world's highest peak. The group will spend months training for the Full Circle Everest expedition before starting the climb next March. Also trending, here's one way to win a marathon. Just follow the correct route. That's how 28-year-old Tyler Pence won the Quad Cities Marathon up in Moline. The Quad City Times says Pence finished in first place. after a race volunteer bicyclist diverted the 2 leaders of the race off the course. Well, they were disqualified, leading to Pence's win. He's the first American runner to win that race since 2001. Pence is the head track and cross-country coach at the University of Illinois, Springfield. Coming up, the complete storm team forecast for East Central Illinois one last time. It's coming up in minutes here on Fox Illinois News at 9.
Friday.
The first pick
is the WWE Draft.
Man, oh man!
Who will be the next superstars coming to network television?
You gotta be kidding me! And SmackDown selects
Friday at 7 on Fox Illinois. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board that acts like a mobile generator and an available tailgate work surface is built to get the job done. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few, it's built for America. Ford F-150. Drive one today.
New inventory is arriving daily, and with 0% financing for 72 months, now's the best time to buy an F-150.
When you want the highest yields, you need the best technology. Hi, this is Joe Merschman. Merschman Seeds is one of the most innovative seed companies in the world, providing unmatched advancements in seed treatment. Plus, our sister company, MS Technologies, is putting customers like you at the forefront of soybean genetics. Innovation is what provides faster, more even emergence every single time. For the highest yields, Merschman Seeds.
Just outside of a town called Basic is Basic Lake, where families gather together for some basic fun. And if you have the 2021 Nissan Rogue with 5 drive modes, you can climb above Basic and find a trail where no one else goes. The 2021 Nissan Rogue. Anything but basic.
Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $4,262 on select models.
An unspeakable crime.
He keeps saying that he murdered 4 people.
And you won't believe why. Daily Mail TV.
I'm Jenny Cooper. I'm the coroner.
Death waits on no man.
Except for this woman.
Coroner. Thursday at 7 on CW23.
Now your storm team weather with Doug Quick.
And as we look out over downtown St. Louis at the present time on the live Rose Heating and Air Conditioning traveling tower cam, and as we look down at Busch Stadium, the lights are still on where the Cardinals lost tonight. The Brewers beat them 4-0. Just a little sports update for you. Thanks, Nico. And that's the way things are looking out there, looking at clear skies across much of the area. And as we look ahead here for the weekend, for Saturday, looking a bit wet, 76 degrees there, clouds, breezy conditions, and then Sunday topping out around 75. And look at the high temperatures today across the area. Pretty close to 90 degrees across mid-Illinois. And over the next 5 days, as we showed you earlier, these temperatures will continue to drop. We're going to be down into the 70s. As we get into, well, early next week. Right now across the Midwest, 70, 72 degrees, 73, depending on your location. In the upper 60s in Chicago and the Quad Cities. Down at St. Louis, 77 comfortable degrees there, 67 down at Carbondale, and we're looking at calm conditions over much of the area. And as we check out the live Doppler, not really seeing much activity across the area. Satellite radar showing what's coming in our direction. And there it is out in the plains, this cluster of rain, and even maybe a few thunderstorms will be moving eastward very, very slow at kind of a snail's pace, but it will eventually get here as we get into the day on Saturday. It'll be spreading a little bit of cloudiness out across western Illinois, perhaps late Friday. Let's take a look at it here as it moves ever so slowly eastward with a nearly stationary front, and then it's going to be bringing up a little more moisture into the region, although we don't really expect it even late Friday night, but certainly as we get into Saturday and that front starts to move eastward, and here it comes, and that will be spreading rain showers across much of the area. Could be picking up as much as a half an inch of rain with that storm system. So for tonight, 62 degrees, partly cloudy with some patchy fog across the area. And as we look into the day tomorrow, around 85 degrees is expected. Then as we get into the weekend, not looking all that bad. We're going to see just that chance of rain over the region. And as we look ahead here, 8 to 14 days, we put this into motion. We got a better chance of seeing above average temperatures and a good chance of below average precipitation as well. And be sure and keep track of the forecast. Download that Fox Illinois weather app. It's free. It's available at the Apple App Store and Google Play.
I love seeing that chance for above average temperatures. Let's just keep that rolling for as long as we can.
Absolutely. Keep the summertime going, but I think next week it's going to feel a little more like fall.
All right, we're making that shift finally.
I was hoping for one last 76 trombones on Saturday. I can't lie.
You know, we talked about last week about the Friday thing, so we're going to do it today. It's Wednesday.
It's your Friday.
It's my Friday. That's it.
Well, coming up, after a scary moment 3 weeks ago, Keith Randolph is back in the lineup for the Illini. How that injury scare affected the linemen, coming up next in sports. You're watching Fox Illinois News at 9.
At Aspen Dental, we help you find your happy place, like milkshake mustaches, high fives, and high dives, or 3-on-3s, 2-on-2s, and 1-on-1s. We see how these moments make us smile, so we make it easy to share your smile with safe and convenient care all in one place, with evening and weekend hours. Right now, new patients get a complete exam and x-rays free without insurance. Plus, everyone saves 20% on their treatment plan. Celebrate life's happiest moments. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL or book online today.
Oversharing can be unholy.
Well, Pastor, name something you do at a party on Saturday. Get high, Steve.
It can be embarrassing.
Name something about you that you worry women don't like. My package, Steve.
It can be seductive.
They used to call me butterscotch. I had these full lips.
I'm 78, but I'm not dead. Keep talking.
Overshare with Family Feud.
Weekdays at 5 on Fox Illinois.
Fast Wi-Fi. It really does make everything better.
Switch, jump.
So at Xfinity, we're not stopping at fast.
Don't mind me, come on. Pick that up, right there.
We're breaking the gig barrier with the fastest Wi-Fi you can get. Because we know your Wi-Fi is powering more devices than ever before. Get our special offer of $300 back when you get gig speed internet. Or get started with Xfinity internet for $20 a month for 12 months. Switch today.
We're the Justice Society of America. We can't quit. Who are you? I'm Green Lantern's daughter.
There is this villain from the old days.
We're never gonna stop fighting to protect the world from people like you.
Don't you teach these children any manners?
Stargirl, Tuesday at 7 on CW23. Now, the Fox Illinois Sports Desk.
Well, defensive lineman Keith Randolph is showing that he is one of the most promising pieces for the future of Illinois football. But just as the redshirt freshman began to break out on the field, his season almost came to an end. Late in the first quarter against UTSA, Randolph went down with what he thought was a major injury.
Initially, I thought it was my ACL. I thought I tore my ACL. You know, you can see him on the sideline saying, please, God, just don't let me do my ACL. I didn't know.
And the emotions struck the 20-year-old as he was helped off the field as he thought his season had come to an end.
I was panicking, you know. I'm not a big crier, but, you know, when I thought it was my ACL, I broke down in tears. I just thought, like, I wouldn't have a chance to show the world, you know, all the hard work that I've been putting in.
Fortunately, his injury wasn't serious, but the timeout forced him to consume the game in ways he never had in his career, as he didn't make the trip to Virginia 2 weeks ago.
That was my first time not traveling to an away game since I've been here. Illini football is on my entire mind for 4 hours straight. I'm yelling at the TV, stuff like that. I'm getting the call, imagining myself if I was out there.
Randolph returned to the lineup against Purdue, and his 2-game absence has reignited the fire as he looks to continue his breakout campaign.
I feel blessed to be back out there with my brothers. I definitely missed it a lot. So being back out there, you know, makes me feel like I'm back at home.
Randolph and the Illini return to Memorial Stadium this Saturday, hosting Charlotte as Illinois looks to snap its 4-game skid kickoff against the 49ers, set for 11 a.m. on Big Ten Network. And high school boys golf regionals teeing off today as well. Class 1A winners on the day. Will Ross leading Monticello to a win at Bismarck-Henning, while Jonathan Willenborg and St. Anthony win their own regional. Cody Dodson of St. Teresa with medalist honors in Moequa, with Will Seaman leading Williamsville to a regional title at Auburn. Class 2A sees Springfield win the Rochester Regional, Peyton Woods earning medalist honors. Central's Wade Schacht wins the Rantoul Regional, and Cameron Appenzeller leads Glenwood to a regional title out in Taylorville. We have many more advancing to sectionals. Those are set for Monday. That's all for your look at sports tonight. Doug, back to you.
Thank you, Nico. And coming up, a recap of the Storm Team forecast and some closing words as I leave you tonight. Plus, Brianna has something as well.
That's right, Doug. One final look at our question of the day. Single women are more than twice as likely to buy one of these as single men are. What is it? Take a guess on the Fox Illinois Facebook page. You're watching Fox Illinois News at 9.
The Delta variant is different. Delta spreads 2 times faster. Delta can put unvaccinated people in the hospital. Delta is deadly, but there's hope. With a mask and a life-saving vaccine, we can stay safe and get back to all we've missed. Let's defeat Delta and go all in, Illinois.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Get great offers from GM Financial and a total value of $2,000 on this Silverado All-Star. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward the purchase of eligible accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
So if we're going to spend a third of our lives sleeping, shouldn't we try to get the best sleep possible? That's why Denver Mattress is all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Euro Top for only $349.99. Or get an unbeatable deal on the Colorado mattress, now just $499.99. Plus 6 years no interest and free shipping right to your door. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Friday
The first pick of the first round
is the WWE Draft. Live on Fox.
We make history here tonight.
Who will be the next superstars coming to network television?
No one knows what the future holds.
After this, Team Blue will never be the same.
And SmackDown selects
Friday at 7 on Fox Illinois.
All right, we're starting out with the hour-by-hour outlook for the day tomorrow. Maybe starting out with some patchy fog, maybe not, but if there is where you are, turn your headlights and taillights on. Be safe out there. Let other people see you. We're going to be looking for a high tomorrow afternoon around 85 degrees, and that'll come probably around 4 o'clock or so, and then temperatures start to back down. And I showed you that weekend forecast a little earlier, 76 expected on Saturday. That's 76 trombones, if you're keeping track. 75 degrees on Sunday with rain likely and a chance of storms. How many bits can I get into this, huh? Over the next 7 days, there it is, that chance of rain and storms over the weekend. Beyond that, we're looking pretty good all the way through early to the middle of next week.
Thanks, Doug. Let's knock this question of the day out of the way. Single women are more than twice as likely to buy one of these as single men are. The answer is, Doug, you were kind of in the realm of that.
Oh, okay.
A house. You said something about furniture. So the answer is a house. Well, today is the day that we knew was coming, but we still aren't ready for. Tonight, we officially say goodbye to the one and only, the legend, Doug Quick.
After 30 years in the broadcast business, Doug leaves at the top of his game, unmatched in the industry, and you get the last words of the newscast.
Oh, shucks. Here we go. As I close out tonight, I want to recognize the members of my broadcast family while here, WICS, WICD, WRSP, WCCU, and WBUI. Over the years, I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of extremely talented individuals who have gone on to be nationally known broadcasters, reporters, and anchors. I want to recognize and thank our current general manager, Rick Lips, news directors, Mike Truitt and Heather Boudry, and my co-anchor here, Brianna Collins, our sports director, Nico Heflinger, our producer, Angel Kaczynski, that name, and everyone else I've worked with in this sometimes crazy business. And that includes everyone past and present and in administration, the news department, engineering, and sales. I want to thank Les Van, who hired me back in 1994, giving me a choice between two positions, and I chose that of being a promotions director. He thought that I was kidding when I later asked him, what does a television promotions director do? I noticed that weathercasters would generally outlast most of the other on-air positions, and I decided right away that I would like to retire from here. And that's one reason why I went into weather, and that was over 25 years ago. I got to combine what I did on morning radio with morning TV and doing the weather and co-anchoring until 2002. At that time, I shifted to evenings, and that's when I retired from my first career in radio. I also want to thank my family, my wife, Melissa, daughters Miranda and Mindy, who spent many weekends at the radio station when I had work to do as a general manager, but also walking parades with me and being at all of the special events and activities the radio or television station was part of. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank you at home, the listeners when I was on the radio, and all of the viewers as well. Thanks for all your social media comments and responses to the many posts that have been made. It's been most humbling. And as I leave, I will continue to focus on DougQuick.com and Central Illinois' online broadcast museum, as well as my Facebook page at Doug Quick Online. But as far as television is concerned, it's time for me to sign off for now. To all of you, be safe, be well, and good night, everyone.
Hickory River Smokehouse is open from 11 to 7. Drive-through, carry-out, and dining room available at all locations. Don't forget you can skip the line and order online. Visit us inside. We can't wait to see you at Hickory River Smokehouse.
This our season right here, man. This everything for us.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board that acts like a mobile generator and an available tailgate work surface is built to get the job done. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few, it's built for America. Ford F-150. Drive one today.
New inventory is arriving daily, and with 0% financing for 72 months, now's the best time to buy an F-150.
Shut up! Horse.
I'm Jenny Cooper. I'm the coroner.
Death waits on no man.
Except for this woman.
Is your job always like this?
You know, just on the good days.
Coroner, Thursday at 7 on CW23.
Precision engineering, rigorous attention to detail. A Bryant Evolution heating system is so well designed, it's as much of a joy to install as it is to use.
Good to go.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
0% APR financing for up to 72 months and up to $2,000 off in rebates. Call or visit Rose Heating and Air Conditioning today.
This is Red 5 with a special message.
Copy that, Red 5.
All eyes are on the Big Bang Theory. So big it can be seen from space.
You don't have to shout. It's not like I'm an astronaut. Oh, wait, I am.
Repeat. That's Bravo India Golf. Bang. Over.
keep this channel clear for emergencies. Thank you.
You guys doing okay down there?
I told you to use the walkie-talkie.
You guys doing okay down there?
The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox, Illinois.
Sundays, NFL coverage starts with Fox NFL kickoff at 11.
Heads up.
It's caught. Then it's Fox NFL Sunday at noon.
Now here we go again.
The best NFL pregame shows are back-to-back, only on Fox.
You're watching Fox, Illinois. Get your weather first with Fox, Illinois Sunrise meteorologist Nick Patrick.
I'm Thomas Roberts. Here are Daily Mail TV's Fast 5 stories happening right now.
If somebody I knew was missing, I wouldn't be going camping.
Did this couple camp next to Brian Laundrie and his parents while his fiancée was missing? Where Dog the Bounty Hunter suggests that Brian is hiding to evade police. Then